final matchups, two sister teams face off. Creamline is yet another puzzle to be solved as they remain undefeated and also ace their finals rematch against Cheritigo. And if there's one thing I can say about Choco Mucho, it's that they never back down. They are younger and they have more to prove than their sisters in pink, surviving PLDT in the quarterfinals. Both our matchups are really, really tight. Now there's no room for errors, only highlights and big plays. The heart of volleyball continues to fight and shine forth here on One Sports.
For the heart of Philippine volleyball, we welcome you to the semifinals of your PVL 2022 Open Conference. And today, we begin with your Petro Gazz Angels, led by Gretchen Sotones, their leader in scoring in this conference. Kontra yan kay Jel Cayuna, 111 excellent sets across 11 sets in the previous 3 matches for the undefeated Cignal HD Spikers to set us up in our 3 p.m. matchup, our first semifinals matchup that our fans are able to witness live here in the Phil Oil Flying V Center. And then later on, we have Eliza Valdez and the Creamline Cool Smashers facing another crowd favorite, Dina Wong and the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. We're glad to have you with us. Biggs Gomez at your service alongside Neil Flores and Alexis Tinsay. Neil, first of all, welcome to the semifinals. What are your thoughts coming into our set of matches for today?
Well, this is it, Mix. From 9 competing teams here down to the last 4 teams who are still in contention for that PVL Open Conference crown. And I think that it's very safe to say that for the teams playing today, specifically the Cignal HD Spikers and the Petro Gazz Angels, it will be a breakthrough conference dahil isa sa kanila ang papasok sa championship round.
Well, of course, you already witnessed how exciting things are in the quarterfinals, Neil. Our fans are here. You can hear the drums inside the arena, and things are just about to be better for both of our squads. Now, let's look at our tournament bracket for the rest of the 4 teams that are left in our PVL conference. Please break it down for us, Neil.
The teams that qualified for the semifinals actually didn't need their twice-to-beat advantage anymore. You can see the matchups on your screen. Cignal will be going up against Petro Gazz, and Creamline will be going up against Choco Mucho later at 6 p.m. It's going to be a best-of-3 series affair in the semifinals, and whoever wins in these matches will enter the final round of competition.
There you go. Cignal HD, Petro Gazz, Creamline, Choco Mucho best-of-3 series. Game 2 will happen on Sunday, and if necessary, sa Monday po ang ating Game 3 for the semifinals as we take a look at Maizo Pontillas, one of the veterans, alongside Jonas Abete, who's actually coming back for the Petro Gazz Angels. Pag-usapan natin ang kanilang quarterfinals match against the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. Neil, a lot of people are saying na ito yung pinakamagandang ipinakita ng Petro Gazz. Do you agree to that?
Yes, I would definitely agree to that. They won the first set in convincing fashion. Medyo nadula sila nung second set against the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers, but they never looked back in the 3rd and 4th frames. Actually, Petro Gazz's offensive dominance was illustrated by the massive 67 to 39 gap in spike points, and was further bolstered by the 91 to 62 difference in digs.
There you see the dominance of the Petro Gazz Angels, as mentioned by Neil Flores. Spikes, look at that, a big difference, 28 points contra sa F2. And of course, that is a big win as they try to carry on their momentum here in the semifinals. Nakita natin kanina sina Jonas Abete and Maizo Pontillas. But of course, if you're led by people or players like Gretchen Soltones, then you must have such a great weapon para sa inyong koponan.
It's always like a day in the park para dito kay Gretchen Soltones, scoring on average 20+ points. She managed to score 23 against Creamline and managed to score 22 again in their previous game. So that title is really fitting. Lady Beast mode on.
Gretchen Sotones, number 6 in the conference overall in terms of scoring, but she is number 1 for the Petro Gazz Angels, second season in a row or second conference in a row para sa ating Petro Gazz Angels. And also, na-mention natin kanina, Neil, number 1 in serving. She has been big time para sa Petro Gazz in this conference. All right, Neil, so your expectations, how can Gretchen be utilized by Petro Gazz in this match?
Nothing will be changing for Chisa and Janelle Cheng. Bibigyan nila si Gretchen Soltones, but she needs to get support from the other attackers also on the floor for the Cignal HD Spikers. Ang maganda dyan, marami pang double-digit scorers in Jonas Abete and Aiza Maizo Pontillas also. So it will be a balanced production sheet for the Petro Gazz Angels in today's game if they want to get game 1.
Good for you to mention those scorers, Nicole Tiamzon, Remy Palma, and we're forgetting MJ Phillips, who has been spectacular para sa Petro Gazz Angels as a middle blocker. And speaking of middle blockers, ito yung kanyang pinalitan dahil lumipat sa kabilang koponan, Ria Meneses.
And Ria Meneses is one of the top-tier blockers in this conference, and siya rin yung nakauwi ng Best Blocker Award in the previous conference.
Yes.
No surprise there.
And kasama niyang lumipat si Ces Molina, who has been excellent as well para sa Cignal HD kahit na nagka-ankle sprain pa siya a couple of games back. Let's talk about their dominance, Neil. And I say that dominance because against Bali Pure, they only gave up 37 overall points.
Actually, Cignal gave up only 18 errors in that game. It was their lowest tally for the total conference. Again, they are still undefeated so far in this conference. So they will be up against a highly defensive team. Kaya titingnan natin kung paano nila iingatan yung clean record nila. Imagine, they scored 40 attack points against the 17 ng Bali Pure. Parang 19 points lang yung tinabaho ng Bali Pure in total in that straight set defeat.
And as you can see, the 40 attack points, mas marami pa yan sa overall score ng Bali Pure Water Defenders. The Cignal HD Spikers, napag-uusapan natin, last place sila in the previous conference. They came in as dark horses, Neil, but they have surely made the most out of this opportunity given to them.
Yeah, and that's the player on your screen. I was about to say that she is probably the most consistent she's ever been compared to the previous conference. Consistent siya na nasa double digits even in that game na nawala siya due to an injury.
Yes.
So it's impressive numbers really for Ces Molina.
Ces Molina went down against the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers in their next game against Choco Mucho. Hindi siya nagsimula. They lost the first set. But as soon as she came back, hindi na sila natalo. The same thing happened against Army. They lost one set, pero next set, binalik agad siya at hindi na sila nagpahuli.
Yeah, and in today's game, Petro Gazz might be the toughest test for Cignal yet dahil alam naman natin kung gaano ka-loaded ang opensa nitong HD Spikers.
Ces Molina, before this game, we were able to talk to her. Of course, she is going to be one of the players to watch out for in this matchup. Let's listen in.
Overall, our team are very happy and excited. But of course, we're very composed and matagal na nila itong hinihintay. And sa pagdagdag namin dito sa Cignal, talagang happy sila na nakarating ulit sila dito sa top na to. And I think napakasaya lang talaga ngayon kasi matagal na to nangyari before. And ngayon, very composed yung team and we prepared para sa game na to. Outside the court talagang we're very close and friends talaga kami. But syempre, game is a game and special sa akin yung laro na to kasi it was my former team and ngayon nandito kami, magtatapat kami. Talagang pinaghandaan namin to, inaral namin to and sana today talaga mapakita namin kung ano yung pinag-aralan namin and talagang pinaghandaan namin during the trainings.
Well, that is one of the storylines para sa ating laro, Ces Molina and Riri Meneses going up against their former team. Neil, ikaw ba, kapag kalaban mo ay mga dati mong kakampi, ano yung pagkakaiba sa pagpakiramdam?
Well, there's always that sense of pride that you want to win against your former team. They were part of that crew as they bagged that bronze medal finish. And dito sa Cignal, dahil wala pa silang talo, they're riding on a different wave of confidence. If you can get one over your former team, that will be one for the books for Ces Molina and Ria Meneses.
Let's see if they will be successful in today's matchup. Pero meron pa tayong dalawang players na kailangan pag-usapan because they are involved in our key matchup. We have two veterans for this one, Neil. Aiza Maizo Pontillas and si Angeli Araneta. What can you say about the leadership showed by these two players?
Etong dalawang to, they're both occupying that opposite attacker position and in terms of production, lagi sila nandun. Maaasahan mo sila, they're very consistent. When you need a point, you can just count on them. But today, mas magiging crucial yung roles nila. Aside from the production, yung leadership na sinasabi mo, magkaiba eh. Actually, sorry, let me correct myself. Pareho silang tahimik, but there's that authoritative presence when on the court.
Dating lang ang kailangan. There we go. So let's turn you over to our venue announcer for our referees and starting lineups.
Presenting our national officials for this match. First referee, Mr. Bobby Celso. Second referee, Mr. Mark Santos. Let's welcome our starters for our Cignal HD Spikers. Team captain wears jersey number 3, Rachel Ann Dakis. At number 7, Frances Sinya Molina. Wearing jersey number 8, Angeli Pauline Araneta. At number 11, Rosalind Doria. Wearing jersey number 18, Marivic Meneses. And at number 22, Maria Angelica Cayuna. Libero, number 13, Angelique Dionela. Head coach, Mr. Cecil Shaq de los Santos. Calling on our Petro Gazz Angels. Team captain wears jersey number 17, Relea Ferina Saet. At number 5, Rachel Soltones. Wearing jersey number 8, Aiza Maizo Pontillas. At number 9, Mary Remy Joy Palma. Wearing jersey number 13, Mar Jana Phillips. And at number 20, Jonah Sabete. Libero, number 18, Cien Mary Ariel Cruz. Head coach, Mr. Jerry Yee. This game is under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusement Board.
Here we have the starting lineups first for your Cignal HD Spikers. The usual names, Rosalind Doria, Rian Meneses at the middle, Jel Cayuna, your center. We have Jack Dionela, your libero, Angeli Araneta on the opposite, Rachel Dakis and Ces Molina for your open spikers. Kabila naman, Gretchen Soltones, Remy Palma, Aiza Maizo Puntillas, MJ Phillips, Chisa and Jonas Sabete, and Cien Cruz. Again, we welcome you to your semifinals matchup in the PVL 2022 Open Conference, live from the Phil Oil Flying Bee Center in the city of San Juan. Biggs Gomez at your service alongside Neil Flores and Alexis Tinsay. And G. Saet will begin things for us today.
Now you can expect all the teams to be sticking to their usual starters, lalo na't semifinals na. The win-loss records in the quarterfinals, in the preliminaries, burado na lahat yon. It's going to be a race to enter that championship round.
And we should remember, these two teams are facing each other for the first time in this conference. Magkaiba sila ng pool coming into this semifinals matchup or coming into the quarterfinals. Service ace tayo to start things with Chisae.
As a fan, I always enjoy offensive teams going up against highly defensive teams because you get to understand kung paano nila maninegate yung strengths ng bawat isa.
Yes. I'm interested to see what we can learn from these two squads as well as Neil Flores. Pineda will send it over to Pontillas. Ball up high and no more recovery for Cignal HD.
Strong start for the Petro Gazz Angels. There may be a certain pressure on the floor dahil undefeated ka, but you just have to take it one game at a time.
And Chisaet is taking it one service at a time, Neil. It's two serving love here in set number 1. Cayuna try to go to the 1-2. Kabila tayo. Back set. Aiza. Jel will give it up to Ces Molina. Off speed. Buhay pa rin. Palma with the push. Jack. At may re-regalo yan para kay Gretchen Soltones.
Gretchen Soltones getting her first point right away. We're at 3-0, and it looks like Cignal still trying to settle their nerves at this point.
Great start para sa Petro Gazz Angels. Rachel Soltones, we mentioned she is the leading scorer para sa Petro Gazz in this conference. Service error mula kay Chisay. Cignal needed that one as they are finally on the scoring board here in the semifinals. And Jel Cayuna will be serving for the Black Shirts.
Jel Cayuna is the current leading setter. Actually, kaka-overtake lang niya kay Dina Wong in the stat sheets. And this is probably her best conference to date.
Jel Cayuna, we mentioned 111 excellent sets. That's a total in the past 3 matches. Jel will give it up to Ria Meneses. Palma tried to return it quickly, but she cannot send it to the other side.
Palma has to be patient. Siyempre, pag na-block ka one time, you want to get the point back immediately. But when you're given a chance ball like that, and you have a setter like Chisaet, it would be better to get that first pass before going for your counter-attack.
And Neil, how exciting is this? Remy Palma versus Riri Meneses facing each other at the net. Service error dito mula sa Cignal HD.
Aside from the skills that they possess, it's the antics talaga.
Yes.
That psychological warfare between these two middle blockers that will take our entertainment level to a certain notch.
I'm not sure if that was you, pero on the game, napag-usapan na si Remy Palma, isa sa mga nagmamind games talaga.
Yeah.
Point here para sa Cignal HD. Now they are feeling it as they cut the lead of Petro Gazz.
At a certain point, naging teammates na yung mga tao on the floor. So they know their advantages.
Serving now, Ces Molina. You mentioned she was big time in their previous match, and she has been big time for the whole conference para sa Cignal HD. And now she ties things up with a service ace.
Actually, for Cignal, out of the 4 remaining teams in the semifinals, number 2 sila in serving, number 1 itong Petro Gazz.
Wow.
So maganda rin talaga yung statistical analysis natin when it comes to both of these teams.
We're tied at 4. Aiza will find the line no more. That goes outside. Mention natin kanina, Neil, players to watch out. A key matchup, sina Aiza Maizo Pontillas and Angeli Araneta. Chisaet will send it over to Sapete. Jel onto Araneta. Not much power there. Balik sila kay Jonah. And she finds the back row.
Jonas Sabete coming off an 18-point performance. Imagine 18 points for Sabete, 18 points for Aiza Pontillas, and you have 22 points from Rachel Soltones. So it looks like 80% of the times pupunta si Chisaet sa mga outside or opposite spikers niya. Kaya dapat bantayan na yon ng middle blockers ng Cignal HD.
You did mention marami silang armas, weapon as we should say. And Chisaet will surely make the most out of them. Jonas Abete deflected. Jonella will send it over to Rachel Andakis. Sent back by the net defense. Araneta. Great blocking by the Petro Gazz Angels. Another one, and they will score.
3 consecutive blocks for the Petro Gazz Angels. And I was about to say na ang Cignal ang number 1 blocking team. But no signs of rust also for MJ Phillips. We all know that's not her natural position. She was an opposite spiker, kinonvert siya to a middle blocker, and mukhang she's easing into that position with grace.
MJ Phillips did volunteer to become a middle blocker para sa Petro Gazz dahil kita niya ang dami ng open spikers. They have an opposite spiker as well in Aiza Maizo Pontillas. Here she is. Strong hit. Free ball given up. Ball is still alive. MJ Phillips. Buhay pa rin. Cayuna. From the back, that was Ces Molina. Aiza again. Cayuna was there. Ces will send it over. Jonah ngayon. Jel gives it up to Rad. Rachel Andakis is now on board in the semifinals.
And Rachel Andakis has been one of the biggest revelations this season. for Cignal HD. She's actually in 4 of the skill categories na nasa top 10 siya. Number 9 in spiking, number 6 in blocking, number 10 in digging, and number 6 in receiving. MVP numbers for Rachel Andakis.
That's a big turnaround, Neil. Dahil nga, last year, no? Sila yung nasa ibaba ng ating standings. And surely, the leadership has paid off para kay Rachel Andakis.
What a
Speed
smart-
doon para kay Aiza Maiza Pontillas.
What a smart move from Aiza Maiza Pontillas. She saw Ria Meneses medyo nag-backpedal na papunta sa likod. Wasn't expecting a soft touch. She was just too late to get that ball.
Well, you want to talk about experience? That's what she has. Reading the defense very well. Kayuna will send it over to Dakis. The push, and she will score.
Making something out of nothing.
Man, Neil, we're going toe-to-toe here. 7-all in set number 1.
As it should be, and you are not mistaken for the fans who just tuned in or mga kakapasok lang dito sa San Juan Arena. This is just the first set of the first game.
Yes, things are about to get louder. Later on, Creamline versus Chocomucho. Jonas Sabete will score, and that will send us to our first technical timeout. 8-7, our score. Take a look at this. Break it down for us, Neil.
Jonas Sabete going for that deep cross court. Medyo tumama pa sa tip of the net, pero it found that corner, and that point will go to Petro Gazz.
Nagiging komportable ako sa mga ates ko, sa mga teammates ko. Tsaka, mas maganda yung absorbment namin kung ano yung mali namin. So, kailangan i-correct namin siya the next game. And then, siguro focus lang ako that time kasi patapos na yung liga eh. Tsaka, gusto ko naman makamit namin as a team yung gusto namin. Ang pinaka-main na ginawa namin is yung sa depensa talaga. Kasi nagsisimula naman sa depensa lahat eh. Kung wala kang depensa, paano ka makakapalo? So, yun. Tapos, enjoy lang para hindi masyadong mabigat sa loob ng court. At once na kasi na masyado kang nag-iisip, di mo magagawa. As in, na-experience ko na yan ilang beses, so ayoko na ulit nangyari.
Neil, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me na as the conference went along, paganda ng paganda yung pinapakita ni Gretchen Soltones.
And ganun talaga dapat habang tumatagal yung liga, tumataas yung level of performance ng mga players natin on the court, and it is actually showing in the past few games for Gretchen Soltones.
Soltones, 22 points in their previous match. Bago yun against Creamline in 5 sets, had 23. And she's gonna have to be activated once again dahil Cignal HD ngayon ang may kalamangan, 9 serving 8. Here's Gretchen, right on cue, but she is blocked.
That's a big mistake for the Petro Gazz Angels. There was a 3-woman block. You don't see that often, pero pag tatlo na yung blockers na naka-establish, there's a 90% chance na madideflect yan.
And of course, if you have Roslyn Doria in the middle of it, who is number 1 right now in terms of blocking, well, the chances are it's gonna work for Cignal HD.
She is number 1, followed by Ria Meneses at number 2.
At ito ang number 3 ngayon.
Number 3, MJ Phillips.
Well, she just wants to remind everyone that she's still up there. And that time around, showing us her middle attacker skills. Nanggaling siyang middle blocker nung high school pa siya. But again, you mentioned she had to transition to opposite spiker and now back as a middle para sa Petro Gazz.
Actually, I feel that offense talaga inaasahan si MJ Phillips. It's a big bonus that she is at the number 3 position in terms of blocking. So that's a good thing for Coach Jerry Yee. So for Cignal HD, dahil alam nilang hindi natural born middle blocker si MJ Phillips, they have to use speed to their advantage. Dahil pag naka-establish na si MJ Phillips with her height, she can really block.
Oh yes, and she is very, very tall. Our score right now, 11-9. Sait will go to Soltones. Strong hit. And she will score. Talking about the Lady Beast.
She has been known for her powerful attacks. And with the volleyball IQ na meron si Gretchen Soltones, she can make a lot of ways kung paano siya makakapuntos.
Combination here, Ces Molina, babawi naman for Cignal HD.
Wasn't the best of executions for that combination play, but as a veteran and as a top scorer for the Cignal HD Spikers, maasahan mo na kaya pa rin makakonvert ni Ces Molina, just finding that corner pocket in the floor defense of Petro Gazz.
Can I just speak as a fan for a little bit, Neil? This is such a talented bunch in front of us playing right now, and we're loving it. Soltones with a strong hit again, recovered by Cignal HD. At the middle, binigay kay Gretchen at ibinalik ng Cignal HD Spikers.
Angeli Araneta, you don't see too much emotions, but when she actually roars back at you, it really means that she loved that sequence. But let's also give props to the number 4 digger of the league, Jack Jonella, for being the anchor of the defense of the Cignal HD Spikers.
There you see the reaction of Angeli Araneta. Na-mention ni Neil kanina, tahimik lang sila as leaders for their squad. Araneta, that time around, mababawian siya ng Petro Gazz.
Sabi ni Gretchen Soltones, we are tied at one apiece.
Coach Jack de los Santos enjoying the action. I think he is enjoying the action. 13-11, Gretchen will serve down by 2. 2 points so far for the leading scorer of Petro Gazz in the conference. Cayuna will give it up to Molina. Bang Pineda was there. Ito ngayon si Aiza. Araneta has to send it over. Chisait onto the open. Sabete deflected. Chi onto Palma, and we have seen that time and time again.
And good recognition for Chisait to finally engage her middle blocker. She's been going to Gretchen Soltones, Sabete, and Maizo Pontillas a lot. But it's time to finally establish or pose a threat papunta dito kay Ria Meneses.
We cannot forget that Remy Palma is also a threat para kay Chisait. 20 points overall in this conference coming into the semifinals para kay Remy Palma. Molina with a push. Sabete. Gel onto Ria Meneses. And there was a stare down, Neil.
Again, napakalakas ng depensa nitong Petro Gazz Angels. So you have to find the right spots for you to score points. And if you notice, in the recent games of the Petro Gazz Angels, they have been switching liberos from Cien Cruz to Bang Pineda. Bang Pineda, don't get me wrong, Bang Pineda is not underperforming. But if you have an equally talented libero in Cruz, sayang naman if hindi mo magagamit.
And it's great for her to perform very well. And speaking of performing very well, Aiza Maizo Pontillas. Ito, ilang taon na natin nakikita, Neil. But it's still great to see her attack from the opposite.
Walang kakupas-kupas. One of my personal idols also.
Again, if you want to see her accolades, diretso na lang po kayo sa Wikipedia because we do not have enough time para isa-isahin yung mga yon. Remy Palma serving. An error right there, and the lead is back to 2 for Cignal HD.
And Mix, we do apologize for the fans na hindi na po nakapasok sa venue. Hopefully, in the next games, in the other semifinals games, and in the final, sana po ma-accommodate na namin kayong lahat. But for now, I hope you're safe at home enjoying our triple header, actually.
Kanina, nanalo po ang Army Black Mamba kontra sa Valley Pure. Jonas Abete breaking down that wall.
Jonas Abete, fearless in that outside hitter position. And yes, it is surprising to see Myla Pablo coming off the bench. But if you have 2 wing hitters scoring 18 points at will, you won't have any problems.
Let's see if mamaya ipapakita sa atin ng Petro Gazz Pablo, because right now Cignal HD is feeling it. They sent us to our second technical timeout with a score of 16-14. Let's check this out. That's Ces Molina from behind, able to score once more para sa Cignal HD. Welcome back. We would like to remind everyone that the PVL 2022 Open Conference is also available on Smart Gigaplay. Now we have a report coming in mula kay Alexis Tinsay.
I spoke to #1 blocker Roslyn Doria of the Cignal HD Spikers, and she told me that for the semifinals game, talagang pinagtsagaan nila ang kanilang service receive at minakimize ang blocking para mailabas ang lahat ng kanyang mga inaral na play. And also, sa sobrang lakas ng communication ng Cignal, kinilig si Roslyn Doria nung nalaman niya, tinanong ng mga fans, matagal na ba silang nahulmang team when in fact they were just formed a few months ago. That is what communication does to a team, and malaki daw ang tiwala ng coaches sa kanila. Now let me ask the panel, malaki ba ang tiwala na mabibigay ng Cignal sa fans today?
Wow, that's a good question. Neil, you want to answer that for us?
Well, ito si Doria, one of the underrated middle blockers din talaga in the league. But in one game that I covered, she scored 17 points.
There we see Roslyn Doria right on cue, scoring para sa Cignal HD Spikers. At the beginning of the conference, we had to apologize kay Coach Shaq for underperforming. Pero pinagkatiwalaan siya. Na-mention ni Alexis, maganda yung communication ng kanilang koponan. And it has definitely paid off. And Neil, it is currently paying off because now it's up to a 3-point lead.
That was a catch and throw violation from the side of MJ Phillips. And Cignal's doing everything right at this point. Molina already has 5 points under her name, built of 4 attacks and 1 service ace. On the other hand, we have Gretchel Soltones with 3 points.
Service error mula kay Rachel Antakis. Had her moments to start this match earlier. Right now, it is 16 serving 18, and MJ Phillips will do the honors para sa Petro Gazz Angels. Phillips is number 16 in the conference overall in scoring with 44 as she enters the semifinals. She's not able to get that ball. A strong hit again mula kay Ces Molina.
High percentage attacking in this first set from Ces Molina. And it's not surprising for me to see the engine of Cignal HD run smoothly dahil yung depensa nila napakaganda. So it's very easy for Jel Cayuna to choose her options well.
Well, Alexis did mention na sinabi nga sa kanya yun ni Roslyn Doria yung kanilang unang bola, the first ball. That's what they want to take care of. Molina try to go down the line. Sait ngayon. On to Soltones, who will score.
That will always be the best angle to go to. Talking about that possession dahil si Jel Cayuna yung mas liability compared to Ria Meneses.
There's Jack Granello on your screen. Fantastic effort din mula sa kanya as they are trying to protect a 2-point lead. Chi Sait will serve now. She has 4 excellent sets so far to her name. Cayuna on to Molina. Malayo yan.
Wanted to challenge that left corner. Pero masyadong malakas for Ces Molina.
Lead is down to 1 here. We did not expect anything less than a close game. We have to be honest, because these are 2 very talented teams matched up against each other in the semifinals. Sait on to Remy Palma.
And Remy Palma with her own version of a power tip. Sobrang daming attack options also for Remy Palma, and that's what you want with the middle blocker.
You did mention, Neil, kailangan ma-activate din ni Chisait ang kanyang middle na si Remy Palma. And there you go. Now they have the lead off of a service ace mula kay Chisait.
Petro Gazz is the #1 serving team out of the 4 semifinalists that we have. So it's not surprising that they're punching their numbers in early on from that department.
And we already know that Chisait can do that. College pa lang siya. Best server na yan from De La Salle University. Let's listen into this timeout.
Kailangan experience na yung gagamitin natin dito. Wala na tayo yung kung ano-anong pang kailangan gawin. Okay, kailangan compose lang tayo, pasa, gawa tayo ng play, attack over. Pag sila, block tayo sa depensa. Yun lang kailangan natin.
Let's go!
Enjoy natin, enjoy lang natin, no?
You know, it's always great to see and hear, Neil, that even if you're down, your head coach is still positive and siya pa yung nag-encourage na mag-enjoy lang kayo.
Well, it's just a 1-point deficit naman for the Cignal HD Spikers. They've been through tougher matches, tougher sets. So yung 1 point, kayang-kaya nilang ma-overcome yan.
Petro Gazz enjoying this lead after being down for the early part of this set. Chisait will do the honors once more. 20 serving 19. Cayuna will go to Meneses. Sabete was there. Sait to Pontillas. Naibalik. Itinawid ni Remy Palma.
That's a 2-point lead already for the Petro Gazz Angels. Kailangan makakuha ng magandang unang pasa itong Cignal HD so that they can get another rotation. Right now, they only have 2 attackers on the floor in Cesc Molina and Ria Meneses. And it can be predictable for the defenders of the Petro Gazz Angels.
Let's see if they can respond here. Down by 2. Chisait is back at the service line. Janela on the first ball. Molina will attack. And that is a big, big point para sa Cignal HD.
Remy Palma actually went up for that block against Ria Meneses, which left Cesc Molina wide open for that cross-court attack.
And you love to see Molina healthy and able to score again para sa Cignal HD. 20, serving 21, Cayuna. Misreceived right there, and we are tied at 21 all.
It is a back and forth affair. And minindset ko na yung sarili ko na for all the semifinals and finals games that we will be covering, we'll be going to a 5-set match.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, that's what we love here in the heart of Philippine volleyball. Ria Meneses enjoying the action as well. That's another point para sa Cignal HD, a service ace for the black shirts. You know, Neil, napansin ko when it comes to the huddles of Petro Gazz, Coach Jerry Yee, most of the time just lets his players talk amongst themselves.
Alam natin na Coach Jerry is one of the most soft-spoken and direct-to-the-point coaches that we have in the PVL. And sometimes, he lets the players talk it out. So, dyan lumalabas yung mga leaders on the floor for Petro Gazz.
Petro Gazz will not score dahil hindi umabot sa kabila yung kanilang bola. That was Aiza Maizo Pontillas. Cignal closing into a set 1 victory. It's 23, serving 21. Nakita natin kanina, we have drummers, yes po, here in the Philoy Flying V Center. That's how exciting things are in the semifinals. Pontillas on the recovery. Sait will push it. Cayuna onto the combination. Sent back. The push mula kay Molina. Cruz onto Soltones. Cayuna was there. Molina with the left hand. Sait back set. Gretchel. Mula sa likod. Cian Cruz onto Soltones, malapit sa net at maibabalik ni Ria Meneses who had to flex on her opponents.
What a timely block point for the Cignal HD Spikers. And if you notice, Migs, slowly they're actually exposing that receiving is not the best skill category for the Petro Gazz Angels. And throughout this match, expect Cignal HD serves to get harder and harder for the Angels.
There's one of the best servers in the conference, Jel Cayuna, right on cue, Neil. A service ace to end set number 1.
And as expected, yung clean record ng Cignal HD says a lot about their character, and in tough times, they might have been down by a single point, but they were able to push the right buttons to grab this first set.
Jel Cayuna, number 2 in serving, just behind Gretchen Soltones for the whole of the Premier Volleyball League. And that ends our set number 1 in the semifinals between Cignal HD and Petro Gazz, 25-21. The difference is 4 points in our set number 1 para sa Cignal HD Spikers at sa Petro Gazz Angels. As we take a look at some highlights, Neil, break it down for us. Ano ang nangyari in the first set of the semifinals?
It took a little while for the Cignal HD Spikers to really settle down and get in system, but towards the tail end of the set, naging best friend nila yung service line, and they really challenged the libero of the Gazz Angels in maybe 3 or 4 points. Nagkaroon ng misreceive itong Petro Gazz. But generally, both teams had a good showing. It's just that Cignal HD came out on top.
Well, we were entertained, so I'm pretty sure our PVL fans watching at home were as well. Some flexes mula kina Ria Meneses, some great attacks mula sa ating mga veterano. And Aiza Portillas, one of those big names coming in para sa ating semifinals matches. Remy Palma also scoring. You just have to love the swag from all our players. Again, we have 2 players, no, in Ces Molina and Lily Meneses, who are actually going up against their former teams here in the semifinals.
Yeah, and as we take a look at the numbers, I said a while ago that Petro Gazz was the better serving team. Pero na-reverse yon dito sa stat sheet natin. 5 service aces for the Cignal HD Spikers compared to the 2. And kaya maganda yung quality of volleyball na nakikita natin right now. Because look at the opponent's errors. Only 3 and 6 respectively for this squad. So they're playing a very clean kind of volleyball right now.
That's why we're loving it. 25-21, ending set number 1. And it was tight until the very end. The mentioning Neil, the service coming alive for Cignal HD. And Jel Cayuna was the one who finished it off for the black shirt. So, can they do the same thing here in set number 2? Or can the Petro Gazz Angels bounce back and tie things up? Again, this is game 1 of your best of 3 semifinal series between the Cignal HD Spikers and the Petro Gazz Angels. Later on at 6 p.m. po, the Creamline Cool Smashers will be facing the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. Sabete. Kabila. Aiza. Dakis was there. Overdig. Buhay pa rin ang bola. Araneta on the cross.
She might not get the bulk of sets from Jel Cayuna, but she always performs.
Take a look at the replay. Angeli Araneta on the opposite, working once more She scored 12 points in their opener against Cherry Tigo, 5 points against F2, 10 points against Chocomucho, 9 points against Army, and 8 points against Bali Pure.
And she is coming off an injury, talking about Angeli Araneta. So when you're coming from an injury, there will always be that psychological factor or confidence na maku-question if makapag-perform ka at your usual level.
Lalo na't ACL yun.
Yeah.
3 points para kay Remy Palma. We're tied at 1 here in set number 2. Back set, Molina. Remy asking for it. Aiza will attack down the line. That's gonna work.
It was a risk for Molina to actually backpedal and not go for that block. Naiiwan si Rhea Meneses mag-isa. And Aiza Maizo Pontillas hit that perfectly down the line. Even if Jack Junella was there, hindi na siya nakakuha ng touch doon.
It's 2 serving 1. Petro Gazz looking to build a momentum. Service error mula kay Remy Palma. And that ties things up again at 2-all. He talked about the errors still in the first set. Onti lang for both of our squads. How crucial is it that nakita na natin yung error na yun, those kinds of errors in the start of the second set?
Well, you just have to acknowledge na, yes, I made a mistake, pero come the next time na ako na yung magsaserve, hindi ko na uulitin. You can make the mistake once, but not twice if you're on the floor for the Petro Gazz Angels.
Good thing is, simula pa nga lang ng set. Now, they have the lead back at 3-2. Aiza Maizo Pontillas with 4 points so far. Battle at the middle, and Rhea Meneses is just skying high over the net.
Yun yung isa sa mga tendencies na napapansin ko sa mga middle blockers natin. Pag medyo tight na yung set at nawa one-hand set ng opponent, it translates to a point kasi sumasabay sila dun sa setter eh. You only have to look at the attacker and not the setter.
Chisay tried to score on that play. Itatawid ni Rachel Andakis. Chi to MJ, not much power needed.
Meneses was already there for the coverage, but Rachel Andakis decided to get that first pass.
You talked about Rachel Andakis, Neil, before the start of this match across a lot of categories, not only offensively but defensively as well. She has been excelling.
And the fans of Rachel Andakis missed this kind of performance because she was quiet, to say the least, in the previous one.
Araneta on the push. Ooh, miscommunication right there mula kina Bang Pineda and Chisay.
That's the responsibility of the libero all the time. Kahit na nakita mo na nasa tabi mo na yung setter mo, you always go for that first ball so that your setter can run the offense.
That tie things up at 4 again. Service mula kay Angeli Araneta. Pineda will go to Soltones. Sent back to Petro Gazz. Phillips mula sa gitna.
High smite for MJ Phillips going for that quick attack. And even though Doria knew that it was going to Phillips, she knew how to choose the right angle for that hit.
Ganda rin ang tapatan, no? Doria, Phillips, kanina na-mention natin Palma and Meneses. Great talents here in the semifinals. Dakis. Side will give it up to no one. That's a rare mistake, no? Mula kay Chisay as she was trying to go to Remy Palma.
Magkaiba sila ng play ang nasa isip.
The funny thing was the reaction.
Well, usually, there will always be a primary play na itatakbo ng setter and then just in case na hindi maganda yung pasa, they will be going to that fallback or babalik sila sa basic play lang nila.
So yun yung fallback, tama ba? Kanina?
I think that was supposed to be the primary play, that running hit.
Saet will go to Soltones. Try to go off speed. Cayuna onto Molina. Balik sila kay Gretchel. Gel, Doria, sent back. No more recovery, but man, that effort mula kay Bia General. Buwis-buhay nga naman in the semifinals.
And that's an early change of libero also for the Cignal HD Spikers.
Bia General, we last saw her playing for Generica. 7 excellent sets para kay Chisait in this match so far. Petro Gazz with a 1-point lead. Pineda onto Aiza, but that's a violation against the Petro Gazz Angels.
Net violation against Bang Pineda. When she set that ball up, it looks like her shoulders touched the tape of the net, the lower tape of the net.
Then again, it was a tough angle for Bang Pineda. The score is 6-all in set number 2. Cignal HD with a 1-set lead here in the semifinals. Doria serving. Mababa, pero naitawid. Remy Palma. Jel onto Meneses with the help of the net.
And you like what Jel Cayuna is doing. Sumisilip siya eh. She saw that Ces Molina got that first ball. She wasn't able to approach. Sinugal pa rin niya papunta kay Meneses. And it gave them dividends.
Ito yung replay natin. Itinawid ni Bang Pineda. Cayuna onto Meneses. Able to get that point from the middle. Soltones will give it up to Maizo Pontillas. That's long. That will send us to our first technical timeout in set number 2, 8-6, our score. Sulit saya ang inyong panonood kasama ang Sulit TV. Entertainment, sports, news and information, andito lahat. Mapapanood ang TV5, One Sports, One PH at lahat ng free-to-air channels. Siksik na, digital at malinaw pa sa halagang 780 pesos lang. Tumawag lang sa 02-8888-5555 o maaari rin pumunta sa piling authorized stores nationwide. Mabibili rin sa Shopee at Lazada. And bisitahin ang Sulit TV Facebook page para sa iba pang mga detalye. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Bili na ng Sulit TV, powered by TV5. Nakita natin kanina si Troy Rosario. So you have to see or you have to love, no, Neil, that not only do we have volleyball fans, the regular volleyball fans, but even professional basketball players watching the semifinals of the PVL.
Aside from athletes from different sports, you all see a lot of celebrities here in the arena.
Oh, Vice Ganda was here the other day.
Alan Kay was also here.
Neil Flores is also here. Shout out to Troy Rosario for being in attendance for today. Our score, 9-7 in favor of Cignal. That sails outside, and Petro Gazz will get their 8th point in set number 2. Neil, if you are the Angels, what adjustments do you have to do to try to get the set to win?
Right now, they're successful in keeping the score close between them and the Cignal HD Spikers. But you cannot afford to trail or just stay close. Kailangan makapag-establish ka ng lead over a highly defensive team.
8 serving 9. Ces Molina went up, but MJ Phillips was there, and she just had to let Ces know about it.
MJ Phillips loving that block against Ces Molina. And nakakatuwa din, if you look at the lateral movement of MJ Phillips, nakuha niya talaga yung basics of a middle blocker. So it's just about read blocking for Phillips if she wants to get more block points for the Gazz Angels.
General on the first ball, the push mula kay Meneses. That's a violation against the white shirts.
I don't think Petro Gazz has any problems when it comes to offense. It's just that they have to be able to convert dun sa mga times na nagta-transition sila off that first ball.
Ooh, sabete. Could have been a strong hit, but it was deflected by Cignal HD. Araneta, I thought it was low, but she will score.
Araneta actually waited for the blockers of the Petro Gazz Angels na bumaba ng konti before she hit that ball. Kaya pumasok yon between the two of them. But another substitution will be made for the Gazz Angels. I think that is Rodriguez.
Yes, and she has seen action in the previous match as well. You think, Neil, ano yung maiaambag ni Seth Rodriguez dito?
Both defense and offense, she can provide for the Gazz Angels.
There you go. Straight to Seth Rodriguez, scoring for the white shirts.
Actually, in all of our quarterfinals matches, lahat ng mga binubunot ng mga coaches in times like these actually perform.
Seth Rodriguez came from the UE Lady Warriors. We've seen flashes of that scoring mula sa gitna para kay Seth Rodriguez. Some blocking as well, but that time around, Rachel Andakis cannot be denied.
Finally, she gets on the board once again here in the second set. And that was coming off a broken play, choosing the right angle, that sharp cross-court angle for Rachel Andakis.
There you see what she can do. I mean, her jersey was retired by FEU. That just says a lot about Rachel Andakis.
But she's sporting that jersey number once again. So maybe merong hugot. There's that psychological factor as you wear your original jersey number.
Ito naman, Jonas Abete scoring for the Petro Gazz Angels. She's communicating with her teammates against si Ate Chipo, ang team captain ng Petro Gazz Angels in this conference. Sabete, 6 points so far for Jonah. 11 to 12 our score. Sait will go to Soltones, who will score off the block.
Again, Soltones going to that same off-the-block strategy. And hindi pa siya nabablock na ganyan.
Balik tayo kay Jonas Sabete. So ngayon, tumabla na po ang Petro Gazz. But na-mention ni Neil kanina, they're gonna have to convert and convert and convert so they can pull away. Chisait, back to Soltones. Gel, sasagot ba si Rad? Whistle here. And that is a call against the white shirts.
Petro Gazz has been committing a number of unforced errors already. Multiple net violations and multiple service errors also.
Yan yung kanilang naiwasan, as we could say, in the first set. Did you see it,
Yeah.
Neil?
Sa lower part of the net. And again, Rachel Soltones maximizing that gap between Cayuna and Doria.
It's 13-all. Balik dito si Remy Palma. As Seth Rodriguez will serve for Petro Gazz. I can't help but notice, Neil, that she's wearing the same colors as her college. It's still white and red. Cayuna onto Doria, sent back. Gel will send it over to Rachel Andakis. Buhay pa rin. Soltones, she has been scoring. Gel, mula sa likod, Molina. Soltones again. Dakis will try. Down the line, she will score.
Napakalinis ng pinapalo ni Rachel Andakis so far in this ball game.
7th in the league in terms of scoring. 57 points approaching the semifinals. And time again, we have seen the brilliance of one Rachel Andakis.
I won't be surprised if she will be one of those names as a front runner sa ating MVP award.
Yan, isa yan sa mga kailangang abangan, yung mga awards natin. Sait, onto Soltones. Battle at the middle. That was tough. Remy Palma, victorious on that play.
Gel Cayuna trying to go for that 1-2 play, but there were two blockers. Buti na lang mabilis yung double jump ni Remy Palma.
And she ties things up once more. 14-all. Again, another tight set here in the semis. Over receive. Sait goes back. And Aiza Maizo Pontillas will score off the block.
This is just based on my observation, every time Petro Gazz challenges the receivers of Cignal, dito sila talaga nakaka-convert ng mga attack points.
So can Seaside serve in a great manner once more? There you go, Neil. Right on cue.
And again, Seaside scoring off that service line. Petro Gazz will enter that second technical timeout with a 2-point lead.
Volleyball Champions for Life. Exciting na ang mga laban sa pagbabalik ng UAAP. Panoorin ang UAAP Season 84 Men's Basketball tuwing Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays live sa One Sports at sa UAAP Varsity Channel. Available on Cignal TV Channel 263 HD and on Cignal Play. And Neil, we're hearing, and we have to confirm this, that there is a possibility, a big possibility na babalik na rin ang fans ng UAAP.
Yan yung pinaka-inaantay din natin. UAAP fans flocking to the arena.
Well, right now, we are enjoying the fans here in the Phil Flying V Center as they enjoy display mula kay Gretchen Soltones.
And this is what I have been saying. That's the 3-point lead na medyo komportable na for the Petro Gazz Angels.
Again, they are trying to tie things up one set apiece here. Saet will give it up to Pontillas down the line, and she finds it.
Saet finding the right attackers in the right time as Coach Shaq De Los Santos will burn another timeout for Cignal HD.
Balik muna. Back to basic lang ulit tayo. Pasa, palitan mo yung play mo. Oh. Dito si Rosin, di ba? Dito ka tumalon. Dito ka tumalon. Oh, saka mo batuhan dito. Okay, yun lang muna. Tapos back row tayo, okay?
Balik tayo, balik tayo, balik tayo.
Receive muna ng maganda. Back to basic lang. Pasa lang maganda. Tapos atake tayo ng maayos. Ganun, ha? Wala naman tayo masyado ibang gagawin. Yan lang, basic lang muna. Receive muna.
Happiness Signal!
Neil, you are in the semifinals, but the instruction is go back to basics.
You will always hear that sa mga coaches because everything starts with a good pass. It might sound cliche, we might sound as a broken record, pero ganun talaga eh. If you don't have a good pass in volleyball, you won't be able to run your offense kahit na #1 attacking team ka pa.
G-side serving once more. It's a 4-point lead for the Angels. Cayuna will give it up to Molina. Sent back. Aiza. Chi. Pontillas. Tic-tac-toe. That's not gonna work. May violation kontra sa white shirts.
It was Aiza Pontillas who touched the net when she pushed that ball dun sa mga kamay ng blockers ng Cignal. She tried to get away with it.
Walk off lang. 15 serving 18 in set number 2. Roslyn Doria will do the honors. Palma. Rejected by Rhea Meneses.
That was too low. Definitely too low for Remy Palma. Aside from the fact that she wasn't able to get a good approach already, it would have been better for Chisaya to just go to Soltones or Maizo Pontillas.
And that started with the serve, no? Na tumama sa net. Courtesy of Roslyn Doria. Pontillas on the combination. Cayuna will give it up to Dakis. Pineda on to Aiza. 2-point game here mula sa likod. Chi had to chase that ball. At the middle, Rhea Meneses able to find a hole from the defense of Petro Gazz.
And Remy Palma got distracted with the fact na mukhang mag-1-2 play si Cayuna. And again, Meneses was left alone for that kill.
No blockers para sa Petro Gazz Angels. Good find mula kay Jel Cayuna. The score now is 18-17.
Magaling naman sa time na tinapin, yung patakbuhin ko, stressful lang. Pagka wala, pag bumuka, isang kanta muna.
Go, go, go! Let's go, let's go! Pull away! Petro Gazz!
Neil, what usually goes into the minds of the players kapag lumamang kayo, na-mention mo kanina, comfortable ang 3-point lead, but then again, humahabol unti-unti yung kalaban ninyo?
Well, sometimes you start to slowly feel the pressure. There are instances na medyo nagda-doubt kayo kung anong gagalawin mo. But the fact that you're still up by 1 point, you still have to be aggressive. And they have a full front line here for Petro Gazz. Tatlo yung attackers nila. And finally, they stop the bleeding with that kill from Aiza Puntillas.
Big point from the veteran, the lefty. That time around, scoring from not their usual side. How big was that, Neil, para sa Petro Gazz Angels?
Malaking yung buntong hininga for Petro Gazz because a while ago, Cignal HD was also able to catch up at this same point of that first set.
We are approaching the crucial stage of set number 2. Araneta with the push. 19-17, Aiza Puntillas finding the corner.
The veteran stepping up to the plate for Coach Jerry.
Timeout naman dito ang Cignal HD Spikers down by 3.
Ngayon, tinatarget nila yung dulo-dulo. Neta ha? Oo, dito ha. Pag alam yung bumuka yung set, aabangan na yung ano, tapos may nakabang sa shoot. Okay, sige. Receive muna tayo ng maganda, tapos atake tayo. Usap pa sa atake. Usap lang. Mapapatay natin yan. Malayo pa.
Happy na Cignal!
Ay, ready tayo dyan. Oh. Alam natin kung paano gagawin dyan. Kapitan lang natin. Malayo pa yan. Malayo pa ha.
Did I hear that right? Yung chant ni Rachel Andakis, happiness signal.
Yes, that's one of the battle cries of the Cignal HD Spikers in this conference.
Si Ma'am Shena nanonood sa ating PVL Semifinals. One of our VIPs here. Kita rin natin si Hans Trajano, our beloved friend from the marketing side of Cignal. And Dip Bianco, ang ating commentator sa first game. Between Valley Pure and Army Black Mamba. Ria Meneses again, skying high for Cignal HD.
They were in the same position in that first set. So alam pa rin ng Cignal on how they will overcome this one. That one-handed set of Cayuna has been a big problem for Petro Gazz.
And it has been easy para kay Ria Meneses, or at least it looks easy as she has been scoring, cutting the lead down to 2.
And if it looks like na mag-1-2 play itong Cignal HD Spikers, the libero can actually go up front already. Tapos yung mga middle blockers, abangan na nila yung atake ni Meneses. Jonas Abete against a single block will pull back one for the Petro Gazz Angels.
Great to see Jonas Abete get back in scoring here. Again, one of the transferees mula sa Santa Lucia. But before that, she was already a player for the Petro Gazz Angels. 21, serving 18. Cayuna on to Araneta. At the middle, Ria Meneses will score.
Easy point for Ria Meneses. Every time you give her a close or a tight pass like that, very simple lang ang gagawin ni Ria Meneses. Not too flashy, but highly effective.
That's all you need to score that point as they cut it down to 2 again. Who can close out in set number 2? Puntillas down the line.
This has been her set. Most of the sets na napupunta kay Aiza Puntillas nagiging puntos for the Petro Gazz Angels, and a double substitution will be made by Coach Jerry. Cheng and Myla Pablo will come in for the very first time.
You want to talk about depth? You want to talk about talent? Myla Pablo is coming off the bench for Petro Gazz. Again, that is your second best outside spiker in the 2021 Open Conference.
But in this rotation, she will be occupying the opposite spiker position.
Cheng had to chase that ball. Sabete. Rachel Andakis, and the ball goes straight to us. That means it is a point for Cignal HD.
Rachel Andakis is so comfortable right now with her style of play.
Take a look at it again. Break it down for us, Neil.
Kita niya na kahit na na-late yung middle blocker, she could have gone cross-court, but with a very tight angle between the opposite spiker and the antenna, she was still able to squeeze that down the line.
Cheng would push it to Myla Pablo. Can she score? Buhay pa rin. Cheng, combination. The push by Sabete, read well by Cignal HD.
Not properly executed. And Rosalind Doria was just there waiting for that combination play.
I'm not sure if you saw it, Neil, but Rachel Andam is just giving us that game pace, that semifinals pace para sa Cignal HD as they try to finish this comeback. They're down by 1. Service is too long for Ria Meneses.
What a time to commit a service error. That's still a 2-point lead for the Petro Gazz Angels. And for Cheng, she has to consider going to that isolation play. Dahil pag nasa middle ka lang, Doria and Meneses will be waiting for your attacker compared to you going to your outside and opposite ng back and forth. Mas hahabol ngayon yung mga middle blockers ng Cignal HD.
Oh, what a powerful hit mula kay Rosalind Doria.
That is our top middle blocker in this conference.
Man, take a look at it again. Bombs away, Rosalind Doria.
What a powerful hit from Rosalind Doria. Oh, another misreception from Petro Gazz. Parang may deja vu from the very first set. Now we're tied at 23 all.
Take a look at it. Angeli Araneta. On the serve, Jonas Abete was not able to get to it. Neil Flores asking Myla Pablo to please not hit us. Let's listen in.
Ayun, pagbalik natin, kailangan may automatic ang play. Okay, ha? Ito, sunod lang. O, ha? Kapit lang, endgame tayo, endgame, ha?
Neil, ito yung mga moments. Correct me if I'm wrong, but these are the moments that define you as a volleyball player. 23 all ang ating talaan.
In pressure-packed situations, you have to keep your emotions in check. You have to be able to think thoroughly kung anong gagawin mo.
Serving, Angeli Araneta. They're trying to get a 2-0 sets lead. Buhay pa rin, itatawid ni Rodriguez. Cayuna on to Doria for the 24th point.
And you saw it, Mix. Doria was already asking for the ball. Pabalik pa lang yung bola galing sa side ng Petro Gazz. Kinausap niya na si Jel Cayuna, naibigay mo sa akin.
What a time for Rosalind Doria to come alive. 2 big-time points for Cignal HD here in the latter part of set number 2. 24, serving 23. Cheng had to chase it.
That's another free ball for Cignal HD.
Cayuna, combination, Dakis. Cheng, back sets. Pablo with the push. Cayuna. Dakis with a hit.
Rachel Andakis pounding the pavement and closing it out for the Cignal HD Spikers. Deja vu nga. They were able to expose the liabilities in the reception of the Petro Gazz Angels, and they go up 2-0 in Game 1 of our semifinals.
Fans are going crazy here in the Philoy Flying V Center. Rachel Andakis finishing things here in set number 2, and you have to love the reaction as they are trying to stay undefeated here in the PVL 2022 Open Conference. 2-0 in favor of Cignal HD. Back here in the Phil Oil, flying the center, the city of San Juan, as the Cignal HD Spikers have officially taken over. 2-0 is their lead. And Neil, we did see some great flashes mula sa Petro Gazz, Aiza Maizo Pontilla scoring time and time again. But the finds of Jel Cayuna, you know, they were just able to capitalize, hold themselves until the very last second. They were down 23-21 and then 4 straight points to end set number 2.
They did lead that set. They had a 3-point advantage before they blew it away with their faulty reception. But I would say in the skill categories in that second set, pantay na pantay ang Petro Gazz and Cignal HD. And you'll know why, Migs, when we see the stats summary in a little bit.
Take a look at some more highlights. Chisaet, the back set to Aiza Maizo Pontillas. Marami siyang down the line in set number 2. Pero marami rin tayo nakitang magagandang set mula kay Jel Cayuna. And Roslyn Doria came alive at the very last second with 2 big points. And of course, to finish it off, sino ba ba? Rachel Ann Dakis, the team captain of Cignal HD.
And ito yung sinasabi ko, same
Wow.
statistics in all categories. Nagkatalo na lang talaga dun sa unforced errors. Petro Gazz gave up 2 more. And yun yung sinasabi natin na even 1 point can make all the difference when you give a free point to your opponent.
That is the very difference. A 2-point separation mula sa Cignal and Petro Gazz in set number 2. We're seeing Nicole Tiamzon here at the start of set number 3 para sa Petro Gazz Angels. So let's see if she can make a big difference for the white shirts. Again, we thank you for joining us live on One Sports. Biggs Gomez at your service alongside Neil Flores and Alexis Tinsay. Cayuna tried to go to the 1-2 pero napalakas.
Nicole Tiamzon will be replacing Jonas Abete in that outside hitter position.
Tiamzon has had her moments. She was the top scorer against PLDT with 13 points as the score right now is 1-1 here in set number 3. Again, it has been tight from the very beginning and the fans have been enjoying the action. There is Jel Cayuna, 20 excellent sets so far and she's had these big games, Neil. Kung ako nga, I would argue, no, or I would ask you na lang, much better, I would ask you, if there was a most improved player award, sino makakuha nun? Si Jel ba? Would she be part of the running?
Yes, she would be part of the running, but I can also give it to Rachel Andakis, basing it on the previous conference.
Siguro unanimous na lang doon, most improved team award.
Yeah. That would really be Cignal. I mean, coming from a 10th place finish, correct me if I'm wrong,
Tama.
10th place finish to being undefeated so far in our conference. And they're looking good right now to be taking this game number 1. And they have been receiving a lot of gifts like that. Kaya naman hindi tayo nagulat that Meneses is already the current top scorer for the Cignal HD Spikers with 12 points. Followed by Rachel Andakis. For the Petro Gazz Angels, it's Aiza Maizo Pontillas with 9 points, followed by Gretchen Soltones with 8. So wala pang nakakatapak sa double digits for Petro Gazz. And nakakagulat yan because they scored 18, 22 in their previous games.
Yes. Can they bounce back here? They're down 2-3. Saet back sets to Pontillas. Off the blocker, she will score.
And that will be the 10th point of Aiza Maizo Pontillas. She has been the most efficient scorer so far for Chisaet.
Rodriguez will be serving. We're tied at 3. Again, back and forth we go. Just toe-to-toe here in the semifinals. Cayuna will give it up to Dakis. Did that go over? Well, didn't makascore talaga. As the point belongs to the Angels.
Well, she pulled back on the power in that hit. Maybe she got bothered with the presence of MJ Phillips.
Again, you mentioned the height. May tulong pa yung buhok eh, no? Adding a couple of inches for MJ Phillips. For serving 3, Seth Rodriguez with the honors. Cayuna on to Meneses. Nabasa doon. Petro Gazz. Jel. Back row attack. Tiamzon will give it up to Aiza. She has been that bright spot for the Angels. Itatawid the free ball for the white shirts. Saet to Phillips. Still alive, back set, Araneta. She will score.
Araneta, the silent operator, as we call her, to the Cignal HD Spikers, scores another point.
4-all. Again, back and forth we go, toe-to-toe. But then again, it is very crucial for Petro Gazz to take over here. Na-mention ni Neil, the comfort zone is 3 points. A 3-point lead would mean so much to a team. That's gonna go outside. The point for the white shirts. Okay, Neil, nakita natin si Aiza Maizo Pontillas. She was able to perform well in the previous set. Pero sino pa yung hinahanap mo that has to step up big time for Petro Gazz?
It's really the middle blockers dahil alam naman natin that the wing spikers of Petro Gazz will really score their points. But even in their last game, very limited yung naging production ng middle blockers ng Petro Gazz. And one of the reasons kung bakit ganun maybe is yung faulty reception nga ng Petro Gazz. It's not like Chisa na ayaw niya pumunta dun sa mga middles niya. It's just that hindi niya naaabot kasi out of reach na.
Yes. Point here para sa Cignal HD Spikers. They're closing in once more, down by 1. And you did mention, when it comes to the receptions, dahil maraming free ball nung latter part ng second set. That was big time for Cignal HD. Araneta will serve. Pineda had to get to that ball. Sent over by Pontillas. Dakis. Saet will go to Phillips. The push. Nadaplis ng unti. Dakis again. Petro Gazz looking to build the 2-point lead. Janela was there perfectly. Dakis. Pineda was there. At tatapusin na yan ni Jel Cayuna finding the back row.
Another tight pass for the Petro Gazz Angels. They really have to keep that ball in control, lalo na yung unang pasa nila.
6-all our score. Angeli Araneta.
Ganda rin ang showdown natin in that libero position. Bang
yes.
Pineda against Jack Janela.
Saet. Chi, this time to Phillips. Redwell. Pontillas on the recovery. MJ will send it over. Cayuna on to Dakis. Saet this time to Soltones. And she will score.
Karamihan ng atake ng Petro Gazz nahahawakan ng blockers ng Cignal. And good thing that Gretchen Soltones found a way to squeeze that between the two HD Spikers.
Not much power needed. Just enough to score para kay Gretchen Soltones. She's had her moments in this game, but then again, we can expect so much more mula kay Soltones as the point comes in here para sa Cignal HD Spikers.
Siguro kaya hindi na pressure yung Cignal HD even if they're down by 2 or 3 points because they are really in control of the tempo of the volleyball that they're playing. They've been getting a lot of chance balls. They've been getting a lot of good touches on the block. So napapabagal nila yung bola papunta kay Cayuna. That's why Cayuna gets to engage with all of the attackers on the floor. And that's something Petro Gazz needs to work on.
And Cayuna has capitalized on those passes to her. Again, we mentioned the 20 excellent sets approaching set number 3. Now they have the lead again, 8-7 in our first technical timeout. Watch exciting NBA games and get a chance to win awesome prizes from Cignal. Just take a selfie with your TV while watching NBA games on NBA TV Philippines One Sports, or TV5. For more info and to register to the promo, visit www.cignal.tv. Pakinggan natin si Alexis Tinsay, who has a report about Aiza Maizo Puntillas.
Aiza Maizo Puntillas recovering from a minor injury just before the conference. She's happy to have her gameplay back with double figures every game since the start of the conference. As a veteran and as an ate, kinakausap niya yung Angels na with regards to morale, nasa maturity yan. If there are errors, next point na, huwag na nating balikan. And that is what they need as of the moment to keep pushing and to have that end game for this set despite the previous miscommunications. Let's turn back to the game to see if they will turn things around, starting with this rally.
Tamang-tama yan. Thank you, Alexis, for that report. Nicole Tiamzon, I think she's remembering the advice na binigay ni Aiza Maizo Puntillas as she scores for Petro Gazz.
Kailangan talaga nila buhayin yung fighting spirit nila as they go up against the blockers of the Cignal HD Spikers.
8 serving 9. MJ Phillips, can she come alive here? Isa siya sa mga hinahanap ni Neil as one of the middle blockers that needs to step up here against the Cignal HD Spikers. And now Cignal with another point.
Konti-konti nakaka-establish na ng kalamangan itong Cignal HD Spikers. Ces Molina identifying her advantage, which is the shorter Chisaet. So medyo kailangan mag-double up ng Petro Gazz ng depensa every time Chisaet is up for that block.
10 serving 8, Tiamzon. Cayuna will give it up to Molina. That is long on the attack.
Too wide for Ces Molina.
Ces Molina has had her moments. Mention mo, ganda ng basa niya kanina. Again, she's going up against her former team. An extra motivation in our semifinals. 9 serving 10, our score. Cayuna with a 1-2.
Finally, she gets a point of that 1-2 play. That's probably her 4th or 5th time to attempt to do that.
Take a look at it again. Jel Cayuna approaching the semifinals, had 24 points, and a lot of those, of course, if not all of them, have come from that 1-2. Let me correct myself. She is a great server.
Yeah,
so
is.
most have come from the services. The attack mula kay Aiza Maizo Puntillas. Petro Gazz needed that one as they trimmed the lead down to 1. Are they in a dangerous situation here, Neil? Because here in set number 3, it's still the same. Toe-to-toe yung labanan natin and Cignal still has control.
Hindi pa naman kasi maaga pa naman in this 3rd set. But hindi pwede kasing mag-init ng todo itong Cignal HD because when they activate all their attackers, they come out with guns blazing and it's very hard for you to defend so many attackers from the floor of the Cignal HD Spikers. And when they get to that peak confidence level, nadadala nila yun sa service line. That's why the Petro Gazz Angels actually commit unforced errors on the reception side of things.
Here's Dakis on the approach.
Great dig from Bang Pineda.
Puntillas. Ganda ng tapatan ni Aiza at ni Rachel and Dakis. And Dakis will prevail as she sets the ball back. Serving 10. Ito yung sinabi ni Neil, no? You can't have Cignal HD catch themselves on being on fire here in set number 3.
And what a stare down from Ria Meneses.
You know, at some point we're gonna need a solo camera para kay Ria Meneses because this has happened time and time again. Look at that, just looking down on Seth Rodriguez.
When we started this ball game, tied sila ni Doria in terms of statistics sa best blocker possession. But at this point, I don't even know kung sino na yung lalamang.
This isn't it. Petro Gazz Angels, now they're down by 4. Contrary to what you said in the previous sets, no? That you can be comfortable up by 3. Now you're down by 4. how much sense of urgency should be there for you?
Right now, it has been all Aiza Maizo Pontillas scoring for the Petro Gazz Angels. He's at 13 points, built of 12 attacks and 1 ace. And even in the non-scoring departments, she has 9 excellent digs already. So kailangan talaga niya ng suporta from the others.
And Pontillas has been doing that all conference long, and she is also in the top 10 in digging. Number 9 siya, 3.6 digs, no?
This is a strong front line for the Petro Gazz Angels. So let's see if they can score consecutive points para mahabol yung tatlong puntos na kalamangan ng Cignal HD.
Dakis. Yamzon will give it up to Soltones. Jonela was there. Mula sa likod, Molina. Pontillas had to recover. The push mula kay Gretchel. Cayuna onto Dakis. Rachel and Dakis will score.
Even off the combination play, Cignal finds a way to score. Parang hindi super perfect yung execution, pero magagawa ng paraan.
Yes.
13 points for Ria Meneses, 10 attacks and 3 big blocks.
15 serving 11. Cignal HD in full control. Pontillas. Hindi maganda yung angulo doon para kay Aiza. And that sends us to our second technical timeout. 16-11 our score. Dekalibreng finale para sa isang dekada ng world-class martial arts action. Nagbabaga ang bakbakan dito lang sa 1. The unstoppable atomweight queen, Angela Lee, dedepensa ng corona mula sa True Sport 1 World Champion, Stain Pertex. At sa unang pagkakataon, isang hybrid super showdown ang pagsasaluhan ni Demetrius Johnson at Roting. At sada rin ang tapatang Adriano Moraes at Yuya Wakamatsu sa flyweight division. 1x, 1 sports premiere. Now let's go to Alexis Tinsay who has a report. Alexis, go ahead.
With 147 running sets, best setter as of the moment, Jel Cayuna told me madaming paraan para matapatan yung kalaban nila. Inaral nila just yesterday ang bagong play against Petro Gazz. What's good to hear is that tinutukan pala talaga ni Coach Jack de Los Santos si Jel para sa iba't ibang diskarte ng setup para hindi sila mababasa ng kalaban at tuloy-tuloy ang pagkuha nila ng panalo per set. It's really the creativity going for Cignal as of this moment. Now let's go back to the PVL action as Aiza Maizo Pontillas serves this set.
Thank you so much, Alexis. That's great to hear that a great relationship has formed between Jel Cayuna and Coach Jack de Los Santos. Kasi kitang-kita natin yung improvement ni Jel as the conference goes along.
And she is in control right now, pulling the strings para sa opensa ng Cignal HD Spikers. And if you really observe her, there are little nuances dun sa galaw niya, kaya nalilito yung mga blockers. Sometimes, there's that small hop before niya bibitawan yung set. Kaya nakakalito. But Jack Jonella,
what a dig. Recovery here mula sa Petro Gazz. And Gretchen Soltones will make Cignal pay on that play.
Of course, you can't leave the Lady Beast without any defenders in front of her.
Remember, Neil, she had a stretch kanina where she was scoring off the block ng paulit-ulit. So it's great for us to see Gretchen Soltones get back in her form. 11 points on 9 attacks and 2 blocks. Cayuna will give it up to Dakis. Saet onto Tiamzon. She scored the first point in this set. And she will score once more as we credit the effort mula kay Jack Dionela. Napansin natin kanina yung dig niya, Neil.
Yeah, and now that Aiza Portillas is not in the front line. Nicole Tiamzon has to take charge of the offense of the Petro Gazz Angels.
10 excellent digs for Angelique Jack Dionela, one of the mainstays of the Cignal HD Spikers. Doria from the middle. At tumama pa yun kay Bang Pineda.
She has mastered that zero-tempo quick attack. Hindi yung tamang pace ng palo as a middle blocker. Sometimes you would see other athletes medyo delayed, but yung tempo ni Kayuna and Doria was really on point.
Chisait will go to Tiamzon. She has been a bright spot for the white shirts in this set.
She will continue to score as they cut the lead down to 2.
16 serving 18. Again, we are approaching that crucial time in the set kung saan doon lang nagkakahiwalayan ang ating dalawang kupunan as it has been tight in our semifinals game 1. Molina. Sait on to Tiamzon. Sent back by Cignal HD.
You have to work double time on the coverage behind the attackers if you are against Cignal HD. Because there will be a lot of times na babalik yung bola sa floor nyo.
Roslyn Doria, 2 blocks, 9 points total. And coming into this contest, again, she was #1 in terms of blocking in the whole conference. Molina, Pineda was there. Tiamzon. Jel, balik kay Riri. Sait, Nicole again. Chi, balik kay Tiamzon, and Nicole Tiamzon finds the line.
She wasn't successful the first time, but the second time around, she got that angle that she wanted.
Tama ba, Neil? Magic bunot ba ang tawag dyan?
Yeah, it can be. It can be the spark plug for the Petro Gazz Angels. And now they have Aiza Pontillas on the front line, so this is good news.
Pontillas will send it over. The push mula kay Dakis. Cignal up by 2. Back set. Aiza Pontillas will score.
And as a lefty, yan talaga yung dominant angle in that opposite side of the court. Very simple. That snap of the wrist with a proper power. Instant point for Petro Gazz.
Well, if you have been doing this for years, we can say that she has mastered it. 1-point lead. Molina gives up a free ball. Sait onto Tiamzon. Off the block, she will score.
Nicole Tiamzon continues to sizzle in this set.
Oh, I love that word, sizzle. Nicole Tiamzon, she started off the set very well. In the previous plays, she has come out on top. 19 all our score.
Okay, masyadong pumasok. Adjust dito konti. Tapos forward na lang pagka nag-short, ha? Sige, pasa muna. Okay? Tapos gawa lang ng play, okay? Medyo taas mo yung set mo sa middle, ha? Pagalahin mo lang, okay? Ngayon, neta, defense na natin. Sabi kasi, pag maganda yung set, huwag kayo umalis dito. Ha? Kunin nyo to. Kailangan natin makadepensa. Black defense, ha? Okay, kuha, ha? Atake mo na, receive attack.
Happy na Cignal!
Okay, kaya.
19 points. Again, Neil, we're going down the wire here in set number 3. Quick expectations for both of our squads.
Well, this is going to be a test of character for the 3rd time in this ball game for the Petro Gazz Angels. They know that they can close out a set, but yung mga mistakes in the first and second frames, they have to be able to avoid that. And for Cignal HD, they're doing what they do best, being on point sa blocking. So they have to close it out with their defense. And just as I say that, Chisait commits a service error for the side of the Gazz Angels.
And you heard the Petro Gazz fans in pain after that service error. It's 20 serving 19. As Kayuna will be the one doing the honors now para sa Cignal HD. Sait will give it up to Tiamzon, this time from the other side. Molina on the approach, finding the corner.
Cignal HD really determined to get game number 1 in convincing fashion.
Take a look at this. Angeli Araneta gives it up to Ces Molina. Malaki yung butas no, mula sa likod ng depensa ng Petro Gazz Angels.
And let's also add the fact that it was a single lady block for the Petro Gazz Angels.
Makakasagot ba si Aiza? Jel, back set. Araneta, sent back. Molina, blockers were there. And that's a point for the Petro Gazz Angels.
You only need 1 point to tie things up at 21.
Again, you mentioned a test of character para sa ating Petro Gazz Angels because Cignal HD has closed out very well in the first 2 sets.
But they still have Gretchen Soltones in charge of the offense so far for Petro Gazz.
Molina, that's outside. So, Petro Gazz tying things up at 21-all.
Now, Jonas Sabete will replace Nicole Tiamzon.
Sabete will be serving here. She was the starter para sa Petro Gazz Angels here in Game 1 in the semifinals. Can they close out in set number 3 to extend this match? With the help of the net! Hindi ko alam kung pinlano yun ni Coach Jerry Neal.
Lucky point for the Petro Gazz Angels, and Coach Shaq will call another timeout.
22-21 our score as Jonas Abete gets a service ace. Let's listen in.
Kapit lang. Endgame tayo, ha? Focus lang. Kailangan nakafocus tayo, ha? Okay, minimize tayo error. Pasa muna, attack tayo na maganda, ha? Go!
Happy na Cignal!
Just a subtle reminder mula kay Coach Shaq de Los Santos. Neil, how important are these timeouts at the end of the set?
Well, you can ice the server. That's one probability, and another one is to just get everybody to calm down and get that proper pass. Very direct to the point din naman yung sinabi ni Coach Shaq de Los Santos. Advantage sila because they will be on the attacking end of this next sequence.
Sabete serving again, 22 serving 21. Cayuna, back set onto Molina, sent back. And that's another point. Petro Gazz building a 2-point lead here in set number 3.
That was courtesy of the block of Gretchen Soltones, and we know that blocking is the specialty of Cignal HD, but this time around, Petro Gazz got that defensive point.
Big play mula kay Seth Rodriguez.
Lamang na naman ang Petro Gazz by 2.
Cayuna onto Araneta. Sabete was there. Saet will give it up to Soltones. Dionela was there. Beautiful dig as Molina will send it over. Saet, Pontillas. Great rally here, Molina. Iaangat ni Aiza. Soltones. Fans are enjoying it. Araneta with a push. Pineda will give it up to Aiza. Buhay pa rin. Meneses with a push. And finally, a point for Cignal HD.
And you can see the persistence of the HD Spikers. Not forcing the issue every time they know na ipit na yung attackers nila dun sa depensa ng Petro Gazz. They would simply put it over and would prepare for their transition defense.
Ria Meneses cutting the lead down to 1. 22 serving 23 as Cignal HD tries to close it out in 3 sets. Saet will give it up to Aiza. Strong hit. Balik sa Petro Gazz. Pontillas muli. Dakis ngayon.
And she finds the corner. We're tied at 23 all.
Are you not entertained as he, again, welcome you to the semifinals of the PVL 2022 Open Conference. It's nice to have our fans back, Neil. The first time that they are witnessing the semifinals of the PVL as a professional volleyball league.
And can I just say, Migs, this is probably the most competitive conference we've had in recent times.
Soltones sent back. Big block block for Cignal HD as they regain the lead. It is a match point for the black shirts.
In all of the tight situations they were in, it's the blocking ang lumalabas for Cignal HD.
Kences Molina and Cignal HD close it out. Pineda on the first ball. And this will be a free ball. Cayuna onto the combination. The push mula kay Dakis. Gretchel. Buhay pa rin. Cayuna will give it up to the team captain. Pineda was there. Sultanes on the approach. Man, great effort mula kay Dionela. And the ball, is it still alive? It is. Cayuna onto Araneta. And finally, Angeli Araneta takes game 1 for the Cignal HD Spikers, sweeping it in 3 sets.
The Cignal management loving this win of the HD Spikers. Kita natin yung huddle nila. They're signaling isa na lang ang kailangan nila to finally barge into the finals of our 2022 Open Conference. A well-deserved win for the Cignal HD Spikers.
Last place in 2021, dark horses at the start of the conference. Now they remain undefeated. Na-mention ni Neil, 1 win away from the semifinals of our PVL 2022 Open Conference. Fantastic play mula sa Cignal HD. We talked about maturity, Neil, dahil close talaga lahat ng sets natin. 4 points, 2 points, 2 points ang ating separations. How can you describe the character of Cignal HD after this win? Please answer that after our short break. Again, win number 1 belongs to the Cignal HD Spikers in the semifinals. Game number 1 belongs to the Cignal HD Spikers. Neil, talk to us about the character that they showed us today.
Well, it just proved how battle-tested these ladies are. Talagang when their backs are against the wall, dun nila na ilalabas yung galing nila when it comes to blocking. And that woman right there, Ria Meneses, is our best player of the game with 14 points, built off 11 attacks and 3 blocks.
Kanina na-mention mo maganda yung connection nila ni Jel Cayuno. Now, let's listen in to Alexis Tinsay, who is with our best player.
Here with me is Riri Meneses of the Cignal HD Spikers. Congratulations, Riri. At sabi kanina ni Coach Shaq na transparency, honesty, and open communication daw ang keys, kaya lagi kayong nananalo. How well did you apply this to your gameplay kanina?
Well, una pa lang, bago pa lang talaga kami magkita-kita, sinabi na sa amin ni Coach Chuck yan na maging open yung communication ng coaches, ng management, at ng players para mag-gel talaga kami ng todo.
At kita naman yun talaga nakakagaan ng loob sa court, no? And secondly, you're 1 game away from the finals. Ano sa tingin mo yung dapat yung adjustments for your next games?
Well, siguro yung adjustments, madami pa rin kami dapat trabahuhin eh. Kaya maging consistent lang kami sa kung ano na yung meron kami. Well, sana makuha namin next game.
At syempre yung fans talaga, aantabayanan yan. Kaya naman ano yung message mo para sa kanila?
Ay, thank you po wala sa lahat na sumusuporta sa Cignal. And hello po pala sa family ko, kala mama at papa. And sa Meneses family, and sa Morelos family, and sa mga family ng teammates ko. Yung ate ko na nasa Canada. I miss you, te.
Yon, congratulations again, Riri, and the rest of the Cignal HD Spikers. They're 1 game away from the finals. Now let's return to the panel to tune in about the Rubisco Sisters face-off.
Thank you so much, Alexis. Tignan natin ang ating highlights. Neil, in set number 3, it was almost the same. Petro Gazz actually had a 2-point lead to try to close this set out. But again, you mentioned the great character mula sa Cignal HD Spikers, prevailing in the end 25-23.
Actually, it was exactly the same thing as set number 2. We ended with similar scorecard na 25 and 23. Nicole Yamzon actually tried her best to get more numbers for the Petro Gazz Angels, but come crunch time, yung blockers ng Cignal HD was just ready to shut down all of the offensive options of the Gazz Angels.
There you see some attackers as well, working very well para sa Cignal HD. Nicole Yamzon had her moments na mention niya ni Neil. She was the first person who scored for Petro Gazz in set number 3. Aiza Maizupotillas was big time for Petro Gazz in this match. But then again, with the likes of Angeli Araneta on your squad, that was the final point in this match, courtesy of Miss Araneta winning it for the Cignal HD Spikers.
It was an even ball game when we look at the offensive arsenal of the Cignal HD Spikers and Petro Gazz. They were tied at 44 apiece in the attacks department. Tatlong errors lang yung pagitan between the two. But the blocks of Cignal 9-5 was the main difference. Dahil marami pa dyan na hindi naman block points, but it helped the cause of the Cignal HD Spikers to convert more points on the offense.
It was a 3-set match, but it did not feel that way, Neil, because it was high-octane, action-packed, and with all these talents on the floor that we are happy to see here in the semifinals, we have been blessed with such a great opener here in the Phil Oil Flying B Center. And Neil, things are just about to become even better because, of course, we know some fan-favorite teams are going to be playing in our next match, the Creamline Cool Smashers and the Chocomucho Flying Titans.
This is probably the most anticipated battle between the sister teams of Rubisco. So we'll get to see kung sino ang mananalo sa game number 1.
Sa ngayon pa lang, naririnig na natin yung chants. Here in the arena, we even had to turn all the volume all the way down for us dahil sobrang lakas po ng crowd, ang hinihiyaw ng crowd natin and our drums here in the Phil Oil Flying Peace Center. Again, stay tuned for our second semifinals matchup, the Creamline Cool Smashers kontra sa Chocomucho Flying Titans. Congratulations to Cignal HD as they remain undefeated in the PVL 2022 Open Conference. In behalf of our director, Raul De Ocampo, our executive producer, Ms. Ada Carlos Bayuga, Alexis Tinsay, my partner, Neil Flores, my name is Mix Gomez. Congratulations to Cignal HD. Kita-kits po muli on Sunday for Game 2. But then again, stay tuned later on for Creamline and Chocomucho.